Yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone in the audience of Craft International Animation Festival. This is the day 5 of the festival and also the third day of Meet the Filmmaker session. Now we are in the second session of the day, and now we already have filmmakers from Southeast Asia competition 2. Filmmakers are from film Kuabo, Ching Sheng Hien from Singapore, and then from film Stars and Rabbit Mary Alone, Mary Wijaya from Indonesia, and then the producer of Scoop, Petrus Christianto here, and then filmmaker of Serenade Asmarandono, Wahyu is here. And then filmmakers of The Life, Irvine Kamal from Malaysia. Hello, Irvine. Welcome. We have some participants joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, guys, let's talk about your films. Your films are a very good selection of craft, and we are really happy to have your films. My first question that I usually ask filmmakers is, how is the history of the decision to make this film? The background story, we know that many times or often filmmakers have personal experience that is related to a film. And how about your film? Maybe we can start with Ching Sheng.
Yep. So a little bit about my film. So my film is about a character that he has cataract. Cataract is a disease for the eye that you see blurry. Happens to a lot of old people. So he has cataract, but he refused to admit that he has it. And in the end, because he made a huge mistake of the lottery winning digits. So he made a huge mistake. He invited all the friends to a good dinner and he didn't win. So then he go for the surgery. So it's a little comedy that is inspired of my own kind of experience of the people around me, my parents, my relatives, my uncles, my aunties. They actually all participated as voice actors in my film as well. So yeah, it's very I would say it's very local to Singapore. The background behind me, as you can see, is it is actually my house, looking a little bit like my house, and characters basically existing in their spaces, speaking in a language known as Hokkien. Is a dialect that my father is which is my dialect as well. So the reason why I want to share this film is I really want to give a very light-hearted, slightly more comedy kind of story about a local kind of life, a slice of life of what goes on in Singapore, how the uncles here behave, how the aunties and uncles kind of gossip around, and also because there are so many old people who has this cataract and they are really afraid to go for surgery because surgery is like a taboo thing. Like the moment you go to the hospital, there's a lot of problems kind of thing. So I want to make it such that they watch it, they kind of feel like, oh, it's actually pretty simple procedure. It's not such a huge surgery. The technology is advanced these days, and it's perfectly fine to receive such a treatment. So there's no need to fear. Not like the character in the film. He feared so much that he starts seeing Chinese ghosts and all this kind of thing. So that was a little touch from my film. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you. So it's very interesting to know that you actually take inspiration not from far away, like the set is your part of your house, and also it's the experience of your own families. When I watch your film, I feel like, wow, this I wonder how many people will feel relatable. Where at least Singaporean, Malaysian, and Indonesian will feel relatable and remember of one of their uncle or something. Have you ever since the film finished, have you ever received like a reaction from your people or the people in Southeast Asia? Might be relatable.
The first people I show this film to is my parents. So of course, like some of the scenes that they are kind of based on how I know my parents and relatives. Especially some of the first scenes, like the arguing between the wife and the husband, right? The uncle and auntie kind of arguing. So these are kind of just what we call heartlander, very common scenes in the heartlands of Singapore. So I've shown this to at some festivals in Singapore. It also went to some international festivals like Kaboom in Netherlands and so on. So I think people generally kind of find the language and kind of the way the characters speak are very authentic, and it tells a story in itself about the culture. So that's how I think how people receive it.
Yes, I think it will be interesting too, because you how many times you show it apart from festival? How many part you show it to the people of Singapore?
I think we had like maybe two or three screenings. There are some screenings that are part of a certain program. It's shown in the cinema. There were also like one or two competitions that I sent this film to. So so that there were several different types of audiences, but I didn't manage to show this to because I wanted to make this film and eventually show it at hospitals. That is where the real old people who are receiving this treatment can actually watch it and feel like, oh, this is kind of okay, kind of thing. But because in Singapore, there's still some censorship and that kind of thing to do with language and so on. So in my film, there's so much use of this dialect, so it may not be for a general audience in terms of children may not know what they're talking about, and but in general, this film is kind of for all ages, family. That's what I intend to. So I will of course continue to push it to like platforms and so on.
Yes, I think it's also will be very important to show it to a bunch of old people so that their daughters or son will not have to face the same painful experience of asking them to go to the hospital and do the operation already. But really, this is really also, this film is also says a lot about how the cataract is still a problem in this part of the world, and hopefully there will be more chance to show it to people to let them know that it's not as scary, and it would be better to get it done as soon as possible. Okay, I will be back to you again, Chingshan. Now let's go to Mary here. Mary, Stars and Rabbit, Mary Alone is a music video, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So tell us about it. You managed to make a music video, looks like a proper film. Tell us about the history, the background, how was the story?
So basically, the producer of the Stars and Rabbit approached me to make this music video, and I asked my college in Pasca Productions to help me in production. So when they asked about to make the music video, of course I really excited because Stars and Rabbit also is my one of my favorite band.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah, I really like Elna's voice, so it's really like dreams come true, I guess. So when I never have experience to make something purely by music, because uh, the point of music video is the music is right. So it's kind of intimidating tool for me. But when we have a meeting with the Stars and Rabbit, they really trust me to develop the concept, whatever I like. And basically, they say that you don't need to put the Stars and Rabbit in the music video. So I can make really new things for this music. So basically, it's not related. The music and the music video is not related. It's more like music video is inspired by the music. So they said you don't need to uh, explain the music in the video, because the when people want to listen to the music, they will listen to the music and feel about the song itself. But when they watch the music video, they can feel the story of the music video. So that's why I want to tell it in the more storytelling, in more like tell the music video as a film. So it's you can enjoy it like a film. You don't need to relate it with the song itself. So is it related or not? No, it's not related, but you can enjoy the film and the song independently. So yeah, and somehow when I read the comment from the music video released in YouTube, some fans that have children also like the music video. So it's really new for Stars and Rabbit because they didn't reach that fans for kids, right? So they said that this is also new for them, and so they can reach out more audience. They can the kids also can enjoy the music with the the film that I I I made for the music video. So that's kind of uh, I'm really happy because we can produce something that can be enjoyed from any age. That's yeah.
So the band or the Star and Rabbit pick you to be the director of the video clip,
Yeah,
music video.
it's really
Wow.
yeah. They said
Yes, that's very cool. I'm a
uh,
little bit fangirling here, and it's embarrassing. So yeah, no, that's okay. That's very cool, Mary. Thank you. Maybe we go to next to Wahyu, Serenade Asmarandono. Wahyu, your film. Well, I live in Jogja, so when I watch your films, I feel familiar with the set of this of your film. Can you explain? So it's like a very short story about a Westerner lady and a Japanese man. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of this film? Why did you make it, and what inspired you? Yes, can you tell us about it?
about the film, this film actually a graduation film for my graduation, and I always fascinating with the bygone days, with the historical and culture, and I find that in Jogja we there's a lot to explore, and uh, with the international relationship. Also in my art community, we had a mixed race community people also, and I also love to observe human connection, and I try to mix all these things into this film. And when I do the research, I found some quite interesting uh, historical fact that at those time in the uh, Dutch colonial time in the Dutch East Indies, the relationship between the inlander, the local, the native, and with the European uh, people is forbidden. Even it's apply in the law, even socially and uh, legally forbidden. And there's some sort of difference between if the man is a European and the woman is a indigenous Japanese. Eh, they they see it is more fit because they just think that the woman, the indigenous woman, will become some kind of mistress, and they have term for it. They call it kundik or nyai at this time. But if the role is opposite, if the man is the indigenous, the inlander, and the woman is the Caucasian woman, the European woman, it will stir quite political turmoil because like they have this race classification at this time, and uh, also with the quite patriarchy influence, strong patriarchy influence. So if the man, the head of the family, is from the lesser race, and it will kind of bring down the, it's like a stain the race for the European, something like it. But uh, good thing is like in today's world, in our case, is this kind of thing. It's much more kind of better, even though there's still some kind of a stigma and everything that's still going on.
Oh yes, that's very interesting. Yeah, when I watch your film, I didn't get because we live in this era when things like that are normal. Uh, I didn't realize back then it was problematic or bring on some political challenge. Yes, and then how long did you do some research, or what kind of research did you do before creating the story?
At first, I decided what kind of topic that the theme that I will pick, uh, and it happens. I was at the time and still interested in the colonial time in Indonesia before our independence, and uh, at those time when still no pandemic, I watched a lot of dance performance, like a traditional dance performance, and I want to use this idea into the film. So also my idea is it possible if the dance, the movement could convey the story of the character? So if you can see those two different characters, the Japanese and the Dutch woman, they dance a different style. So I was I was hoping that I'd like to show that even though they were different, even in their appearance and how they dance, show it in how they dance, and it still can create some sort of harmony between the people, something like that.
Okay, thank you. Before we move to Petrus and Irvine, I want to remind the audience in Zoom meeting and in YouTube streaming that you can ask question to the filmmakers by drop the question in the chatting sections, or you can turn on your camera if you want to and comfortable enough, that's okay. And also you can ask in Bahasa Indonesia. I will try my best to help you. Okay, let's move on to Scoop. Petrus, can you tell us the history of how Alan, right? Alan is the director of the film, decided to create this film, Scooped. It's very unique film, it's very funny in a way, but also it's highlighting in a certain layer of corruption culture. So tell us about it.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Clive. Thank you, Connie and Mas Hiskia, to selected our film scope in the club. First, the history of the scope is scope start in to out to competing in anti-corruption film festival in Indonesia.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a team, right?
Yeah, we are to create animation to first time, and in 2022, then yeah, I have the friends called Alan. The director is in scope. Alan Saputra is the animator in Semarang, and I want to share the information about the competition, and he to appreciate and to create this film, and yeah, the process of the creative in the scope is yeah, the scope to share about the corruption in Indonesia, about the dilematic, about the irony in Indonesia, and everyone can, after the watch the scope, can be relate about the situation in Indonesia right now, about the corruption, and this time the scope, I would the process the scope bring to share about the scope, and in this festival we won in best animation in anti-corruption film festival, and few weeks ago, the shortlist of Festival Film Indonesia 20, yeah, this history about scope, and now in this graph, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Petrus. Wow, quite
Thank you.
so many appreciation and achievement for school. Congratulations to you and Alan and all the team. Okay, now we move to Irvine here. Irvine, your film is very unique. I was very happy to have found a film that is sort of have a vibe of experimental, but also have layers of narrative in it. Can you tell us about, yes, the same question, the history of why you made this film and what was the inspiration? Why did you pick the music? Yes, tell us about that.
First of all, hi and good evening to everyone who's watching. So, an advance apologies if I stutter, because I'm a bit nervous. So, yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Now, currently doing my degree in animation in UMAS, University Malaysia Sarawak. So, the beginning of this creation was a year ago during my first sem. The subject experimental animation. So this is actually my assignment. So I was thinking, what should I do for experimenting this? And this is my first ever proper animation. So I tried to do my stop motion.
Congratulations.
Yeah, because I tried 3D and 2D animation. I don't actually love, not to say I don't like, but I cannot draw. And I don't like to sit too long. So stop motion is quite painful, but it's enjoyable to move around.
Okay.
So this story actually, the story itself is inspired by the soundtrack. So one day I was like, I don't know if it's common to everybody. I have this this mood where I like to listen to various type of soundtracks and have the imagination running through my brain. So one day I saw this one soundtrack from Greg Dombrowski. So this particular soundtrack had that narration of up and down at the peak and the low of the sound or music. So I had this imagination in my mind about life. There's a happy music mood and slow music mood. So how am I going to put this life and at the same time experimental it and have a metaphor of it? So in Malaysia and also Bahasa Melayu, there's a proverb. They say, kanak-kanak ibaratkan kain putih. So that inspired my visual concept for this animation. So the song inspired the story and the proverb inspired my visual. So I started to do, and I would like to thank my lecturer, Professor Dr. Ahmad Zaini bin Abdul Manaf, because he really believed in me and supported me and encouraged me. And as a newbie in this, so he pushed me and encouraged me to like submit to festivals, and I surprised that I'm selected in this category, and I appreciate it very much until now. Thank you to Craft Festival. And this story is actually to show the common, how I make it like general visual, like common pain and joy of common human being. Like from the starting opening of the cloth, white cloth, like giving the example of metaphor of newborn baby, then including the sound effect of laughing, kids, joy, and screaming, all that. The flow gradually starting from the newborn baby to the end of a human life, which is ending in a grave. So it's a metaphor like we start as a baby as we don't know anything clean. So while life progress, the society, the environment of us influence who we become. So as it gradually progress, as we age gradually, there are a lot of things that we face, bad time, good time. So it's a part of life. Anything we face, we will end up learning through the bad time and good times. So yeah, that's the story. And then I end up the story with Rose. So Rose is a sign of love and affection. So as we go through life, up and downs, and somehow we will pass away at some point. So as we believe in religion that afterlife is a place that is heaven and there's full of joy. So that's where I portray the metaphor of joy with the roses. So after we passed away and the rose grow, so that's the end of like the accomplishment of life through up and down, from a don't know anything, to go through life and settle down peacefully. So yeah, I think I explained it okay.
Yes, very well. So spot on, actually, because when I watched your film, I had a moment of I had a moment of reflecting my whole life. So it worked. Okay, thank you, Irvine. We will get back to you again with your production process. Speaking of that, all filmmakers, I want to touch of the production process. A question that might be very will be asked to you for every festival, but still we craft curious about it because we love to explore animation techniques and how people incorporate their creativity or their story to the techniques they use and also material they use. Starting from Qingshan again, can you tell us about the production, about your production? More or less, what technique did you use, and then how many people got involved, and how long did it take to finish your film?
So yeah, so my film it's not really a student film, but it is made by a lot of students because I teach at LaSalle College of the Arts Singapore. So I'm a lecturer myself. So in this production we did mostly 2D animation on the software called TV Paint. So and the backgrounds are made in Adobe Photoshop. So it's mostly digital. And my crew, I would say, I do have a producer, Jamin. He's my producer. We graduated from the same college, and he's also teaching as well. So both of us, we kind of work with a group of very talented LaSalle students. Some of them already graduated. The character designer was a graduate. So and most of the animation they were actually animated by some students. I would say 6 students are in the key animation department, and then I have like about 8 more so doing in between. So at one point I think I had like 15 students in the lab just churning out the animation. So I would say it's for myself a relatively big project. Yeah, so as you can see some of the production work here, and we even did our own video reference for the acting. I even had to act myself because not much budget to hire actors. So so that's how we did some of the production. And voice recording is also a highlight in my film. So I have my dad as well, my aunt, and so on. So we use the facilities in our college. So yeah, it was a really fun experience for at least for myself, and I hope my team as well, and really happy to celebrate the finished product. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. While we are watching it, there is a vibe of painting style. Was that did you plan it? It was by intention, or what would you like to achieve by it?
Yeah. So yeah, some of these very early sketches, color sketches, they are kind of like my production design. Just trying to get the key image, kind of looking in the right mood for the film. So my film, I try to go for a very light-hearted comedy. So the characters need to be kind of slightly more animated than the real people kind of on the street. So it's an exaggeration of real life. So these are some of the character designs from my colleague as well. My colleague, she's Fanny. She's actually an Indonesian. She's really good at characters. So she did some of the character designs. And I personally have to paint some backgrounds myself. I'm better color design and painting background. So that is where I get my hands, dirty. And also, I think one of the alumni is the character designer, and some of the scenes were animated by her as well. So she's called Kin. She's from I believe Cambodia, no, Vietnam. Okay, or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and these are by my producer Jamin. Some of the design of the slightly more abstract sequence of the surgery. So I actually chose the surgery to be more abstract and surreal, and not show the real surgery kind of thing, so that animation seems to bring it to a different level. Yeah. So kind of I think audiences will probably it will be more delighted to see this kind of thing, like the spirit of animation just morphing around and really bringing the experience of the actual surgery more than seeing a surgery. I think that's what animation is good for anyway.
Yes, it certainly does. Thank you, Chishan. Next, let's ask about the production of Mary Alone. To Mary.
Okay. It's kind of awkward because the title has my name, so
I'm sorry, do you have to face this situation every time?
kinda like everyone asks about why the title is Mary Alone.
So let's make it straight now that it's not from your name, it's the band title of the music of the song, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, now let's go with the
okay. So maybe I can share screen.
Okay, he's here. Share screen. Ready?
Okay, please, Mary.
Okay. So for the production, we have in ASCA production, we have dozen 12 people, like from the executive producer. We also have many people doing many roles. So the animator, it's not only animator, but also compositor and everything. So I asked Aska to help because at the time I currently working on in there, and when I asked about when I tell Astrid, the executive producer, she really excited too because it's the song itself is really good. So everyone in the team is really happy because we can do everything we want in this project. So they really give their effort and love in this project. We can see it in the process and the final image. I'm really happy because this is I think really really tell what I want. So in the process we have beat music first because this is a music video. We must match the beat of the song. Basically, when I tell my storyboard artist to make the storyboard, they need to listen to the song repeatedly until they really immerse to the song. So they help. They also make the storyboard in color. It's kind of surprising because I didn't tell them to make it in color, so they really like the project. They give the project give their best effort to give the feel what we want to tell in the film. So basically, this is the beat. We have all in color. And also when the project itself, it's done in 3 months production from pre-production until post-production. And I decide that the animation shouldn't be hard. We more focus in the visual itself because I want to tell about something that out of the real life, but you still can relate. So it's kind of looks like a beach. This is sea and the shore, but in my story, it's inside the cell, the human cell. So yeah, the character itself, it's not really a stars and a rabbit, but it's my team giving the idea that, oh, this character should be looks like a stars and looks like a rabbit to give the impression this is the song of stars and rabbit. So when I designed the star boy, I didn't think about, oh, this should be a stars shaped boy, but the character designers say, oh, this is maybe good for the concept too. So the virus itself, they develop it to looks like a rabbit. The transformation. So basically, when I develop the virus itself, it's just a simple circle because I like a simple shape. Then the character development said the virus in the real life also evolved. So it will be good if the virus in the movie in the film also can evolve to be more evil, I guess, from the simple circle to the evil face. We add more sharp shape, but also when the virus itself evolve again to be more not harmful, but still let's say still have dangerous side. So these pointy ears, like it's like a rabbit. So it's giving the sense of, despite of we know that what the virus is, it's still, even it's not really harmful, but it's still dangerous to us. And also for the Starboy itself, the Starboy also have evolving side. So in this story, they both evolving from for the Starboy, they have plain color in the start of the film because they didn't know about the virus. So when the virus become more dangerous in the phase 2, Starboy start to learn about it, and also they need to evolve to survive. That's why when the Starboys also already know and have the knowledge of the virus seems not harmful for them. That's why the virus is evolving again to the phase 3. So about the rendering process. So because there are so many flat colors too, I asked my animator to make the animation simple. We focus on the visual and the output render we want. Basically, I asked to them to make is there any rendering process that can make it good for the final product. So there is a test for the grunge noise shadow. If you can see it, it's really not really looking good, but we decided to add some After Effects in the post-production to make it more have a film-like feel. So basically the color also I want to give the expression of normal, peaceful, and nature that also evolving like the character from the film itself. I think it's I think it's good. I think it's enough.
Okay, Mary, thank you for bringing us along to the production and the creative process. Although I'm a bit curious about the choice of colors here. Oh, this is like a very contemplative song and a very contemplative, well, we separate the song and the movie, and a very contemplative film too, movie too. And how do you keep the contemplative vibe with the with bright colors, with bright, cheery colors that are usually identified with children films? How do you keep the vibe to be like this is a contemplative narration, I guess?
Okay. Maybe because the beat of the movie is kind of slow, so it's kind of help building the contemplative side of the movie itself. That's why I also want bright colors, because this kind of film or song usually have darker color concept, but somehow I want to give it more hope. I want to give something that hopeful enough, just like the song itself. It wants to give you empathy. That's why I want to give it in bright colors so you can enjoy it while you inside your room. Because in our current condition, we can really go anywhere. So I want to give something that you people don't really see it every day, like the sky is pink or the sky is yellow. That's kind of thing. Like you can feel like you sit down in the beach and just staring without thinking to the space you enjoy. So this is also the thankful for the help of the visual development, because the first thumbnail is kind of more more bright and didn't really feel that way. So when I made the thumbnail, I just use the main color I get from Pantone. So I like to know what the colors mean, like why it's yellow, why it's the yellow is said illuminating, or why the gray is said ultimate gray. So I choose the palette because that description match my intention for the film itself. And also the visual development team also give some recommendation that we can really match this color. So we want to like the pick and delete some color to make it work for together. So I think it's beside I think the visual you can develop every visual like you want, as if you can beat the story, like what you need to tell. I mean, I beat the storyboard like in slow frames, so it kind of helped the film to feel more contemplative and slow, despite of the bright and cheerful color. So it's kind of break the mold, I guess. Not all the maybe festival feel film or contemplative film has to be dark or depressive. So I hope it can break that rules. So it can have bright colors and cheerful feel, but also you can feel the sadness or the empathy from it.
It certainly works, and yes, you did break the rules of colors, and it works. And this is why we pay attention to this. Okay, thank you, Mer.
Thank you. Yeah.
And apa? Okay, now we go to Wahyu. Wahyu, can you tell us about your production? You do provide some behind the scenes pictures to us.
Yeah.
We will show you as you speak.
Oh, because this for my this final project for my graduation, and at that time it's like I don't have that much budget, so I asked my friends that could dance to help me with the film. So I have the story, and then I tell them the story that I want to tell, and then they plan the choreography of the dance, and the take, like we filming several take, and until I decided and found uh, the perfect one, and then after that I could do the animating process. I use Adobe Flash. JS6 because like my laptop is not that good at the time, like the specification. Um, from the video, I take all like a screenshot uh, from each frame, but there's a software that could like translate all the video into all the frames, but I tried and it's too much frame, so I did a screenshot one by one by myself, and uh, it is a long tedious process, but I also could learn the movement from each frame. And since I use a rotoscoping method and frame by frame, I tried to use the footage, the video as a reference. So I didn't trace it like directly with the shape of the dancer, but I adjust the shape of the my friends with the character design that I've made. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so it was a rotoscoping technique.
Yes.
How do you find rotoscoping technique? Is it very helpful, or?
It's quite helpful because like I see in the old animation process that they like in Disney or this guy Max Fleischer, he used this the inventor of the rotoscoping technique. He made this Kiko the clown animation, and I find it's really helpful for the animator if they had a reference. And I've seen the behind the scene of the old Disney film, the two-dimension one, and they use also a reference like the live figure and everything. So it's quite helpful.
Yeah, how many people got involved in your project? Was it you alone?
Total is like 5, and most of them is like a close friend, and two of them are the dancer, and one is I borrow his camera to film, and the last one is for the music. So I asked my friend to compose the music after I trace all made into animation, and then I show it to her, and she composed based on the movement.
Also, the animation was you alone.
Yeah, like all the animation, like the visual
Yes.
animating and background. I did it by myself because like it was like a short time, and I don't know if I could find people that could help me, and I have no budget if uh, hire someone, and it's also taking I will taking a chance if I do that, because like yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Wahyu. Now we move to Irvine. Irvine, maybe we can stop the screen share. Is here.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah. So this is your process, right? What's appear in the. So you're in the panel. You're the only one who used stop motion techniques. So please tell us about it.
So basically, in my class, also I'm the one using stop motion. So as the first animation that I did completely, like the full length, and also the first time I'm doing stop motion, I didn't even try it before. So the props are just my camera, because I do photographies, and also a simple storyboard, just few sketches for the story flow. Before the storytelling and story visual, I use my brain. While I produce my film, I just use my heart. So I don't have much. I just use my heart to just follow the flow and what I see and what I want to explain in my visual. So just simple taking note of the frame that I count, so I don't miscount the timing and also the frame for the each part from the animatics that I did. And yeah, that's the simple that I have. I just reuse the props that I have. This is my second room, which is being a store, so I just clear up and DIY myself the studio. So that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. It's interesting that even if when you just use your heart, you skip take notes and counting frames and everything. So as much as we can use our instinct, we still in animation we still need to be
Calculated.
specific. Okay, thank you, Irvine. Okay, we have question from audience, a technical question. Wait. Okay, so what is the applications filmmakers use to edit your animation? To edit, yeah? To edit, yes. Maybe, oh, sorry, we missed scoped. Petrus, sorry, I'm so sorry. It was a full screen, so I didn't realize I missed one of you. So tell us about the process of terciduk, Petrus, please.
Okay. The process of the production of the terciduk or scoop. At the beginning, Alan, the director of the animation, make a storyboard that describe each keyframe, then create an in between to see each keyframe to create a good flow. And although the animation is done fully digitally, full digital, technically most of it is made using traditional frame by frame. Yeah, in this presentation. And the app is the Procreate application, then process to the final conversion in Adobe After Effects to provide additional effect, transition, and simple movement. And the scope in work one animator in 1 month. 1 month. Yeah, this Alan to create this animation. Yeah, this the production about the scope.
Yes, I'm when I watch Scoop, I'm really curious. I don't know if Alan have ever told you, Petrus. What is the reason behind the color orange? And it's almost it's very minimal. The choice of colors is only neutral, black and white, or gray, and then there is very popping orange. Is there have Alan ever told you the reason behind it?
Oh yeah. The color about the scope. Yeah, I'm no question about to Alan, but Alan in animation before scope, he to create animation in two colors in in no many colors in animation Alan gitu, and uh, the orange in the scope is to expression about uh, in 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 ma- in yeah inside outer side the other side the orange about expression about the fun about the comedic and the other side um a, the orange about the irony in Alan mind. Yeah.
Yeah, because at first when I saw it, I wondered if it was because of the corruption theme, and then usually when people got caught doing corruptions, and when they get when the police bring them, and then they are officially a suspect, they would wear an orange coat. It's always like that. So I was curious, was it why? But it's not. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Petrus. Okay, now we go to the. Petrus already mentioned a little bit about the editing software. So now the terms of other filmmakers. The question about what is the application you use to edit the animation. What do you use, Chi-Seng?
We use at my college we primarily use the Adobe. So editing will be Adobe Premiere and After Effects as well. Some of the post-production. So those are very common software. Yeah.
Okay, what about ASCA production, Mary?
We also use After Effects and Premiere. So yeah, it's kind of all the industry maybe use that two softwares to edit.
This content is absolutely not an advertisement, so that's okay. Let's mention, let's give credit to After Effects and Friends. Okay, but okay, in sake of educational, maybe. Oh, the question is from Banyu. If maybe Banyu is a student want to learn the editing of animation. Okay.
Sorry, Connie. Nobody here use free and open source software like Blender or Krita.
maybe we haven't finished yet. Okay. So next, oh yeah, Wahyu.
I use several software, and like for the animation I use Adobe Flash, and for making background is Adobe Photoshop. And since my laptop cannot handle Premiere and After Effects, so I use the free video editing software called PSDC Free Video Editor. And
see, he's here. Okay, then
and there is one background that I need to recreate the place where they dance, because like I use Blender to make the perspective and then paint it over digitally.
Wow, interesting approach. Okay.
Finally, because everybody say low budget movie making, but the software is very expensive. I think it's very contradiction. It's okay. Good.
Okay. What about Irvine? I think editing is a part of the process, right?
This was a painful part to render because I'm just using my laptop because I cannot go back to my university. I'm just learning from home. So for pre-production, I use Toonboom for storyboard and animatic, and for post-production, I use Premiere Pro.
Okay. I don't know, Petrus, do you know what Alan did to editing? What software did he use?
The first software is Procreate to
That's for animation, right?
to
Yeah.
make animation, and the final
Editing?
compositing in Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I hope it does answer the question from Banyu. Thank you, Banyu, for the question. So now I think we don't have any more question from the audience. So I would like to ask my final question to all filmmakers. What is the future hold? Are you involving in current project, or do you have a future project? Yes, can you tell us about it? Jingshen, starting from you again.
Yeah. Yeah, I have made one more film after Kwabo. So it is called Traffic Light. I believe yeah, it's currently on the platform in Singapore on the Projector Plus platform, but it is geolocked to Singapore. So it is going to travel to some festivals. I think next month or so, I think in a few months' time, it will go to Canada, Giraffe Film Festival or something like that. Yeah, and yeah, I'm hoping that it will.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. And I am currently working still halfway on another short film. I think this one is a bit more experimental than what I usually do. So so it will take a bit of time. It's like it's such a painful experience, but yeah, still making more films.
Yay! Looking forward for that, Jingshan. Hopefully, you will be interested to send it to Craft again. Okay. What about Mary?
Okay. Future projects. Currently, I don't really have a plan, but I definitely want to make more films in the future. For this rest of year, personally, I want to resting first, because yeah, I want to look back my previous project, my previous film, and deciding what to make, what in the future, what I want to really make next. So yeah, that's it.
So it's kind of a leap year, but for a career. Yes, I think it's.
Yeah.
I will support every filmmaker to do that because it's necessary. Yeah, productivity is not everything. Thank you, Mary, for sharing your plan.
Thank you.
And what about Wahyu? What's the plan, if any?
Yes, actually, I have another project. It was started from 2019, but it was postponed because I have a plan to make a collaboration with a painter, but unfortunately she was come back to her home country, and we now for the moment we need to do it online for the discussion and everything, and it's delayed for 2 years, but I hope I could finish it. We could finish it.
Will it be another short film?
Still don't know yet.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Wahyu, for sharing that. What about Petrus as a personal, actually? Are you involving or producing another animation?
Okay. In right now, I'm developed to animation. One in series. The title is Bu Apartemen. The project is still searching funding in many funding forum, and the one animation is the other animation short movie. Maybe we can create in 1 year in is about the spin-off of the scope, and I will to create a scope to in spin-off. Yeah.
Interesting. Looking forward for that. Okay. What about Irvine? Irvine, would you share your plan for animation?
Sure. So now currently I'm doing my final year in animation. So I'm now developing my final year project. So it's another experimental stop motion as well. So yeah.
Looking forward for that. Really, really looking forward for that. Okay, we have no more questions from the audience, so I think we should end our conversation. Although I really want to talk more with all of you guys in the real life, not like this. So hopefully the next craft will be offline and online too. And now I would like to thank you very much for attending this meeting. It means a lot for us, and hopefully for the animation community, what you are sharing today is very, very helpful. And before I close it, I would like to take a group picture of us, if you okay? So everybody in the audience, in the Zoom meeting, can you turn on your camera so we can capture this moment? Iskia,
I'll
can
join too.
Oh, you join too. Sure. The
Okay,
operator.
we can selfie together.
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it.
1, 2, 3, and cheese. Yeah. Thank you.
Also thank you for audience in YouTube and in Zoom meeting. If you haven't watched their film, please watch in craftanimfest.org. And if you like their film, please vote. There is a QR code at the end of the program. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you,
Dadah.
everyone.
Sama-sama.
Thank you.